Hey, welcome back. Let's talk about Seattle, Washington, because there's 737,000 people that live there, and it could be important to them, and it could be important to you as well. So thank you for joining me, and let's jump in. If you're new to my channel, I like to cover the areas inside of Seattle and the neighborhoods outside of Seattle as well, because I have a lot of friends and colleagues that live and work there, and I want to give you an idea of what's going on inside the general market, so you have a better idea if you're buying, selling, or investing inside of Seattle or the surrounding markets. So let's talk about Seattle, Washington, and this is from the U.S. Census Bureau. But there's 737,000 people that live inside of Seattle, Washington. Like I said earlier, bachelor degrees are right around about 2 out of every 3 people have a bachelor degree or higher, and our household units are about 2 persons inside of each household on average. Also, on the median income is about 115,000 per capita in this area. And what that means is if you line up everyone's salary left to right, lowest to highest, the exact middle, that's the median, is $115,000 a year. But that's not the average, because again, that's the exact middle and not the average. So there's going to be some discrepancies there. Employment rate is right around 71% as of 2 years ago. And everything fluctuates with time, but I just wanted to give you a general overview on the numbers. Because you might come to me and say, hey, Victor, I want to buy a house inside of Seattle, Washington. And I'd be like, hey, I got you, boo. There's 1,900 homes inside of Seattle available as of 2 days ago, and the average home is $1.1 million and about 1,700 square feet, 3 beds and 2 baths. Now, you might not know what that means to you, but I'm going to get into the numbers specifically so you have an idea of what you're actually looking for on a better deal or not. Because the average home, the price per square foot of the average home is $651 a square foot inside of this area. That might not mean a lot to you, but it gives you an idea of what the general cost of a home is. Now, I took homes sold for the last 5 years inside of August for Seattle, Washington as a whole, and I ran all the numbers for you, and I came up with an actual average so you have an idea of what the trends are going inside of Seattle, Washington. Inside of Seattle, Washington, the average homes sold inside of August for the last 5 years, so that's August 2020 through August 2024, is 1,747 square feet. And it is, again, like I said, 3 beds and 2 baths. Now, I'd like you just to forget about, style, any kind of condition, if it's a townhouse, if it's a townhouse, if it's a single family, if it's a condo, and just think about a general home that's 1,700 square feet, because this is what we're using as a whole. Now, on average, now in August of 2020, and this is obviously right after the beginning of the COVID era, we had about 1,200 homes sold inside of August 2020. Now the next year, August 2021, we had 1,335 homes sold. So there was an increase of about 1,100 homes sold inside of Seattle, Washington for August 2021. Now in 2022, this is when we started seeing interest rate change, and things changed a lot. And I want to give you an idea of where things changed, because actually the homes sold went down 29% inside of August 2021. And that it went from, like I said, 1,335 homes sold down to 945 homes sold. Now, that might not mean anything to you, but what that means is the homes available for purchase actually went up, and the homes that were actually being purchased, they took longer to actually buy, and at the same time, there was less of them on the market. Now, in 2023, we had 774 homes sold, and this is last year, August of last year, and that was again about an 18% decrease in homes sold. So we could see that we're actually selling less homes year over year since the beginning of COVID. Then at the same time, just this last month in August 2024, we only sold 696 homes inside of Seattle, Washington as a whole. And like I said, there's about 368,000 household units inside of Seattle, Washington, and we only sold 696 homes. So this is a huge decrease, and we're seeing a very large slowdown inside the market for Seattle, Washington. I also want to get into the days on market on average, because the days on market right now for this generic home, like I said, is about 35 days on market, 35 days on market right now, when last year it was 26, the year before that it was 21, and the year before that it was 20. So you can see it's taking longer to actually sell, and we're actually selling less homes right now. Now that might not mean a lot to you, but I'm going to actually get into the numbers behind it, because the average home in August 2020, if you purchased it, was $893,000. Now in August 2021, if you held on to it for 1 year, it went up 8%, and it was then worth $969,000. Now if you hold on to it for one more year, and this is right when the interest rates started to change, it would have increased to $1,005,000. So in the course of 2 years, you would have made about $107,000 in equity on your investment. Now in 2023, the prices stayed roughly the same and only went up about $32,000, which is 3%, and that's actually kind of regular, because usually homes only appreciate between 2 and 4% a year. And then this last year, in August 2024, we actually had a 2% decrease in the value of homes inside of Seattle, Washington, what have actually sold. And again, this is sold data. This isn't pending or anything like this. This is actual sold data. And we had about a $22,000 decrease in the value of homes. So we're starting to see a pullback inside of Seattle, as well as we're seeing a pullback on the homes that are actually being sold right now. Like I said, there's 1,900 homes on the market as of this morning, when I did 2 days ago when I did all those numbers, and we only sold roughly 700 of them. So it's probably going to take about 3 or 4 months of inventory right now. So we're seeing a huge increase in inventory right now. And I want to get into the showings inside of Seattle, Washington, because I haven't done this breakdown in a while. But inside of Seattle, Washington, when we're comparing showings versus solds, it's very different, because the showings right now that we're seeing inside of Seattle, we have about 14,000 showings in August of 2024, and we had 2,700 listings. And again, like I said, we had 2,700 listings, but we only had 700 sales inside of August of 2024. So now we're starting to see the backlog catching up. So now we're having homes stay on the market longer. And just personally, I have a listing that's on the market right now for 60 plus days. Right now, the average is about 5 showings per listing. And this is actually pretty low compared to 2021. It was 12, 2020, it was 11. And just in 2022 and 2023, it was 6.5 and 6.6. So you have an idea that we're having a decrease in the activity. King County as a whole, we've gone down quite a bit. And again, it's because we have more inventory, and we're having roughly the same amount of showings, but we have more inventory on the market right now. I kind of want to get into the numbers for you so you have an idea. Also, if you were to rent this instead of buy this house, like a 1,747 square feet house, if you were to rent it, it would be about $4,600 a month. Now, if you were to buy it, and this is just your principal and your interest, not including any HOA, special assessments, insurance, or anything like that, it would actually cost you $5,700 a month. And this is actually starting to be one of the big reasons why we've had such a slowdown. Is not only is the cost of borrowing higher, and now you have more selection, as well as just people are holding off because of, it's the end of August, and as you can tell, it's not seasonal. It's actually gone down quite a bit. Usually in August we have a bit of a slowdown because everyone's trying to get in before the school year starts, but this is a very sizable slowdown when I compared it over the last 5 years of August data. Kind of what I'm anticipating for the next 6 months is everyone's going to hold out and just kind of wait for the election to come through. So at least for the next 3 months, I'm thinking that we're going to see a little bit more of an inventory spike. And just in general, just be ready to buy, be ready to invest. And if you're a seller, you need to take this into account too if you're actually getting into this. Now, as a licensed real estate agent, I can help you out. You could reach me right here. And as always, it was lovely working with you today, and I hope you have a fantastic day.